to achieve, go forth and take it. Set yourself free. With obstacles in your way, you may fall before you rise. But if you really want good, you know have to run. So get up and keep your eyes on the prize. So as part of your plan, you feel have ambition, and the Almighty One as your foundation. Hey, nobody get rich and rich because that's definitely wrong. Now, begging, don't forget your friends and where you come from. If you are thief, remember God now sleep. And although you're a robber man and you get well last week, you fall off out the street, but you're beaten going steep because God is a silent river and you know him run deep. Throughout history, lots of great men and women went about things the old-fashioned way. They just kept on winning and winning. So strive, step up in life and go for what you know. You've got to strive. Remove the doubt from out your mind and let good flow. Be not moved by smart remarks from people who think they're witty. Keep moving on, mind gotta be strong and don't indulge in self-pity. But strive, step up in life and go for what you know. You got to strive. Remove the doubt from out your mind and let good flow. With obstacles in your way, you may fall before you rise. But if you really want good, you know have to run. So get up and keep your eyes on the prize and strive. Step up in life and go for what you know. You got to strive. Remove the doubt from out your mind and let good flow.
Another one. JN Circle Life Class to help you on and on and on, to help you in your daily life, to help you amidst life's strife. Another one. JN Circle Life Class to help you on that path. It's here again to help you thrive, talking about businesses, to help you strive and to keep certain dreams alive. Since of late, there are many businesses appearing, but because of some bad practices, tutus, and they're disappearing. Today we have a great cross-section of knowledge to help you grow. And when we're done, I will proudly say, I told you so. We have a little bit of youth and experience all wrapped up in 3. Listen up, take notes, and maybe there'll be a giveaway or 3 for free. We'll see. So are you ready for tips that nourish and they're aimed to help you flourish? Well, this is another one, JN Circle Life Class to help you on your daily life, to help you understand and learn more about life strife. Good evening and welcome to Life Class. I'm your host, Brian M. Cuff, and I say I'm the Poetic MC. How you doing? I'm looking forward to an exciting class. You know, I'm somewhat of the teacher because I'll be, the facilitator because I'll be facilitating. But I'm here with my pen and paper to learn from some amazing young people and some amazing not so young people, Jackie. But just like that, season 5 is done. 9 exciting episodes and we've come full circle. The buck stops here. You know, beyond I do, defining marriages for the modern day era in May, to success and survival, tips and testimonies of entrepreneurs today. You've received classes focusing on marriage, relationships, mental health, communication, and entrepreneurship. And for the newbies, you may have missed a lot, but you can go back and watch it on YouTube when it's posted. You can watch season 1 to 4, and season 5 will be up shortly. Now, what better way to end life class for this season, where we thrive together on a road that so many persons are now just beginning, which is businesses. One artist says that he's not a businessman, but he's a businessman. And if you're being real, this relationship is almost like marriage and also like parenting. So with me today, amazing group of young people, co-founder, managing director, and I don't know what other title he may have, of Brescia. We're starting, them say age before beauty. So let's go with Randy McLaren, aka Randy Mac. Randy, you know, Brescia, if you don't know Brescia, I really don't know. Something is wrong. And Brescia, a little bit about Brescia, the bags are made from vegan leather, quality material, lasts up to 10 years. I got one from my wife recently. I'm looking forward to getting mine, honey. I'm just saying, Randy, see if you can speed up my own. He started out small. Don't know where he's at now. We're gonna be learning more about that. So, Randy, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing good, brother.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me here.
Good to have you. I'm looking forward to hearing what you're gonna say, sir.
No problem.
All right.
Looking forward.
Look, we're actually supposed to sort of have a rose amongst thorns. I don't really like how them say it, you know, because we're not thorns, right? We're flowers too, right, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you,
man.
Gordon. Thank you, Gordon. She says that she is passionate, innovative, result-oriented, and ideator with over 15 years, you may not look it, of strategic intellection and interactive multimedia production experience. I know her from university. She went to school, high school with my wife. She's doing great things. She has Jamaica's first national adult coloring book. She's the founder of Jamaica's TV show named The Psychology of. And for those of you who watched the recent episode, it was about Bun, and I never have to do with Easter. So go figure. Jacqueline Jax, how are you, Jackie?
I'm wonderful.
Good to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
And looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, yes.
And I think the youngest amongst us, but you know, he has a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge. And he started schooling us from him coming, doing research on us and taking us for guinea pigs. But he's all right. Co-founder, CEO, EduFocal. If you don't know about that, if you don't know about any of these brands, I really know that you're in trouble. Somebody said, first thing when they saw him, they saw a stock market. They don't know if that's not where he's going though. He's just Gordon Swaby. At 14, he created his first major website. At 14, I was playing games.
I was too.
Yeah, well, my game.
He was multitasking,
right?
right? He was multitasking.
No, but ironically, the website that I created was a video gaming website. So
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I was probably watching movies, but hey.
Yeah. This different generation. Just showing up Jackie's age, but
okay, it's fine.
If you want to know about his amazing accolades and awards, go on LinkedIn and you see a huge profile. Gordon Swaby. Gordon, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
And I'm happy to have them. Yes, blessed and highly favored. Happy to have them because I know each of them outside of here. Small world, and the roots run deep. And I'm trusting you that you're gonna get some fruit from them. What we'll plant, they'll plant some seeds in you. I'm looking forward to hear about your businesses that you will start from listening to these three amazing persons. But let's check in with our Thrive-O-meter. Big ups to you, Celia. Hi, Celia. How are you? Good to have you. We're gonna be looking and checking in with you guys. We know how our panel is. We're going to be checking in with you guys to see how you're doing. So we're going to be launching our poll in a couple of seconds, and we're going to be finding out how you're doing and how you want to feel at the end of our show. All right. So it's coming. All right. While it's coming, let's just get the ball rolling. We'll soon check in with you guys. I said it to Jackie earlier, gentlemen. It's a little joke some people run, but are you business owners? Are you business operators? Or are you entrepreneurs? Which do you prefer? Randy. All right, Randy.
Well, I don't, depends on how you define it. To me, I am an entrepreneur. I am a creative person. I'm an enterprising person. I think my sweet spot is as an entrepreneur. But I think mixed in with all of that is you managing your business. Yeah. I mean, for me, that's the reality, growing it from where it started to where it's at now. Management is involved with that. It's a head cook and bottle washer kind of situation. The team has expanded to more than myself and my brother when we just started now. Right. So now, perhaps you'd say I'm more of an entrepreneur now, but maybe when you're beginning and you have the idea, the vision, setting the mission and the core values in place, that takes the work of an entrepreneur as well. Getting that enterprising energy upfront to get going. You know, is there a difference? Maybe really not. We can get specific and decide to spin it different ways. But for me, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm about the impact. I'm about how we improve lives. And I'm about the triple bottom line, the people, profit, planet. So that's how I would.
In that order.
I'm not necessarily ordering it, but that's the important foundation on which I prefer to build any enterprise that I'm a part of.
Thank you. Gordon, so business operator maybe as a start out, and then now you refine it to be an entrepreneur?
No, there's a distinct difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner. If you run a pastry shop, you're a business owner, and how you distinguish between the two. It's fairly straightforward. So if you're entering an industry that is very well defined with, you know, best practices, you know, you bake the cake, you sell it, the margins are established, there are a lot of competitors that you can go and research how they operate, tweak it, etc. Business owner. An entrepreneur, not necessarily a pioneer, but somebody who enters an industry that is not well saturated, and you are responsible for a lot of the groundwork in figuring things out. Right. When I started EduFocal at 21, we were, I think we just started to have Claro in Jamaica. Internet penetration in Jamaica was around 40%, 30%. It was very low. Yeah. Certainly credit card penetration, the ability to accept payments online was not a thing at all. If you think things are bad, no. So we had all of the odds stacked against us. And, you know, again, an entrepreneur, somebody who's entering a space, or somebody who defines a space in their particular locale. So an EduFocal may be entrepreneurial in Jamaica, but may not necessarily be entrepreneurial in the USA.
Gotcha. Thank you. Jackie, it starts as being an ideator first. So.
Yeah, I'm looking to learn from the gentleman here because I have the youngest company. Right. You know, I'm under 2 years. Ideate that limited as a multimedia métier. So for me, I'm still trying to strike the balance between being a full-time creative and also being an entrepreneur. And so that's something that I have to balance and understand that I own a business, man. Yeah. And I'm a businessman.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And you're already hearing how hard it is, you know, the balance and trying to define and have structures. But before we get into some more of it, let's check in with you guys. So we want to know how your current mood is. Oh, they've done the poll already. Look at you guys, one step ahead of me. So most persons are happy or okay. Then if you've started your own business or venture before, no, most persons says no, not as yet, but not far behind. We have, 57% to 42%. Yeah. Which of the following qualities do you think is important for entrepreneurial success? And we have in the lead, resilience and persistence. So you guys are gonna have to tell us if that is the case. Then you have second, you have vision and creativity. Then we have risk-taking and adaptability, networking and communication skills. So it just takes a whole lot. Which aspect of entrepreneurship are you most interested in learning more about? We have the majority of persons wanting to learn about strategies for identifying and seizing opportunities, then time management and prioritization techniques. And Jackie made mention about the balance earlier. So we're going to be going into that. So I hope you all have heard some of the things that persons are, how they're feeling and some of the things they're interested in. And we're going to be getting into that. But not everybody, I never take it for granted that everybody knows everything. So Jackie, just in a quick sentence, tell us about your company.
So my company is a multimedia ideation métier. And so when Gordon was explaining what an entrepreneur is, I am the example of being an entrepreneur. When I was doing my research, I lived in New York for 10 years. So people would know based on your introduction that we went to high school together, university together. And then I worked a little bit in the media industry. I worked at TVJ, started as a production assistant. Couple weeks in, I was now producing. Right. And then I realized I was there for 2-3 years and I was like, I want to learn more. I love television, but I wanted to learn a little bit more about film. Right. And so I went abroad, did my media arts degree in film, video, and television production. Then I came back and I decided what I always wanted to do was to start an ideation company. And so for most people, I'm coming into a space based on research, based on numbers, that there isn't a lot of ideation companies because people are into production companies. So if you think about just strategy and ideation and looking at where you need to be, I realized that I needed to create a space, right? Create an identity. And so when I came back, I was like, it was right when I wanted to start with COVID 2020. I was like, oh my God, because I mean, the beginning, nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't going to start my ideation company in 2020. And then COVID came. So we know that was just like exactly the first hurdle for me. And then I decided, this is the time I can actually build out what I want it to be, what are the strategies, what are the areas that I'm going to look at, and to really explain to people what an ideation, what a multimedia ideation métier is, and really what it is a company that is based on ideas. The foundation of any creation is in ideas. I have a TV show called Psychology Off. I have 1-2 seasons. My next season is going to be done in another month or so, created in another month or so, and that is ideation, right? Research. I have a Jamaican adult coloring book that started with ideation and research. And I can tell you, my TV show doesn't have any real competition. If we're talking about, I'm looking at colloquialism, right? Most of the companies here or TV shows that are produced are not about colloquialism or just the culture of people, right? We talk about food, dancing, the other things. And then when I was doing research, there's not a Jamaican adult coloring book. Most people would be like, adult coloring? So to them, that is foreign. So that's ideation. So I want to say that's what my company is rooted in, is coming up with really, really brilliant, creative ideas. And I start from the ideation process, take you through the multimedia, and then presenting. So from development right to execution. You did say 1 minute, sorry about that.
Yeah, as a TV producer, I still know better. But I want, before I go on to Gordon, usually when I think entrepreneurs and business owners and operators, when I was growing up, everybody looked a certain way, was of a certain age. These persons here are young people. They don't fit certain stereotypes of how business owners look. So everybody who is watching, just imagine yourself up here, especially if you started a business or you want to start a business, look, learn, and then you go for it and execute.
I have one question for you before you move on. When you told your parents that we're going to go to UWI to do television production, and what did they think?
Well, for me, my parents just supported me because they say I talk a lot.
Yeah.
So it's either law or that. So
yes, and my dad was like, what does that actually mean? I was like, I'll be on TV.
Yeah, that was
I was like, Dad, I'll be on TV. But I was like, lawyer, doctor,
TV,
Indian chief.
right.
So that's, you're right, to the point. All right.
Garden, EduFocal. I've seen it in the news so many times. Yes. I knew you before I saw you in that space, but ever since then.
Yeah. So EduFocal is an education technology company that creates digital learning experiences for companies, individuals, schools, governments. That is how I would define EduFocal. And that's an interesting take on what the company is, or the group is, for me, because for a very long time, EduFocal was an online learning platform that helps prepare students for their GSAT exam. No PEP.
Right.
We launched in 2012. Myself and my co-founder. We are now up to 60 people.
Nice.
We are listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We have operations in the States, and we are just about to expand to Lagos, Nigeria. And youngest person to ever list a company in the history of the Caribbean. First edtech company to list anywhere in the Caribbean.
Boy, so ask about the
like wow.
wow. And all the
Wow.
expectations of all of that. So
I mean, very so like, I was sitting here and I was thinking, right? I remember when we were doing like 5 million a year in revenue. Because we've been around now for 11 years. Our running expenses monthly is $13 million. Like, it's kind of scary to think about sometimes, but if we can't find $13 million every month, we can't do payroll, which is kind of crazy to me.
If it's crazy to you, my brother, the rest of us in here are like,
how do you spell 13 million?
Wow.
How do you spell 13 million?
That's amazing.
I remember, what I'm saying is, we have to find that to spend it.
Yeah,
That's not
just
profit.
to spend. Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
profit.
We have to do profit separately.
So Jackie made mention of the fact that COVID was her first hurdle.
Yeah.
Would
When he
COVID
was
have been
like years in his
ideal
business.
for you now
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
launch out further?
So we broke 10 million in revenue right before COVID. In 2019, I remember 2019 well, because I got married. A lot of life-changing things happened for me and to me in 2019. I got married, and I remember saying to myself at the end of 2019 that, listen, we broke 10 million in revenue, and IPO is ahead of us. And then comes March 2020, which we all remember very well. I remember us preparing ourselves for a very big 2020. Got an executive from a blue chip company to head our sales and marketing team, was paying the person $1 million a month. Right. So think about it this way: you're doing 10 million a year, and you find somebody to pay them $1 million a month. That's $12 million a year, right? So that's a big risk. But I'll tell that story a little bit more. But yeah, 2020 was a defining year for us. We had already started having IPO conversations, but in hindsight, obviously, $10 million in revenue, we weren't ready for. But I'm happy we started having the conversations before.
Yeah, you have to spend money to make money. That's one of the things that a lot of us don't
Scared
want
money
to
makes no
acknowledge.
money.
Yes.
Say that again?
Scared money makes no money.
There you go. Randy.
Yes, sir.
When he came in, somebody said, Bresche, yeah, he's his brand.
Yo, before Randy talks,
Listen.
I'm gonna take credit for something.
All right, sure.
Ooh.
Randy, feel free to oppose it if it's
No.
Randy may
I know
not-
what he's going to say. So I'm not going to, I don't need to. oppose.
Randy may not remember this, but I remember on a bus ride to St. Anne, sitting beside Randy before Bresche, when he was predominantly a performer.
Top point, yes.
And I said, yo, Randy, bro, I know you love the performing arts. You need to start a company, right? I think at the time he was exploring the idea of starting Bresche. But I'm claiming that I think that talk was.
You claim it.
Randy,
You
are
claim
you
it.
paying our monthly salary?
Listen.
No. I remember the conversation as well. and
Percentage.
in my thought process at the time, that conversation would have impacted my next moves forward. So I never forget it. It wasn't so much farming a company. It was more a product. And the conversation was along the line of, as a performer, you trade time for money. As a product, a product is being bought or sold when I'm sleeping. So I get up and look at products sold. As a performer, as a dub poet, I would have had to gone to several gigs or several bookings to make money in a day, and there's so much and no more they can do. So thank you, my brother. I don't forget those conversations. Yeah, we would have gone through Branson Center program. So we've been through similar programs, and it's just an idea or an indication of the people you surround yourself with as well, and how much conversation in the present can impact what you do in the future. So I've never forgotten that conversation that we had at that point. And so I took it on, and subsequent to that, Bresche was started, and clearly it was a product business that could make and survive outside of me now even being involved. So if I'm back on stage now, that's just another income stream, so to speak, that can supplement what we're doing with Bresche.
And my ask Randy is simple. Just put aside $10 million for me in the reserve.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
So reserve pool. So when the IPO happens,
All right, we'll talk. I'll let you talk to my lawyer.
You see? All right, we're facilitating business as well.
Yes, why not? So, but I want to say congrats, Gordon, and you've done great. This is us, Bridget and the circle.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yes,
And I realized both of you came in same time.
Yes,
right?
yes, and I was very happy to see him. But congrats on the accomplishment so far. It's an inspiration to all of us looking
Congrats
on.
to you too. Man.
Thanks much.
Yeah.
Thanks much, man. We need it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and the more we can talk and share and encourage each other as young people, young entrepreneurs, God may look and come across like a town man, but him really come from country.
No,
Yeah,
from-
You
same here.
realize with the trip.
Is it all of us are from
Yeah,
country?
man, I'm from St. Thomas.
I'm from Manchester. I'm full not Patrick. We're Manchester. We both are from.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's country people coming to Kingston and making a mark and doing great things, if I may say so. So for us, even the word brescia, it's coming from the breadfruit. Hopefully everybody should know it's a country people Jamaican word for breadfruit, inspired by where I'm from. And I have a poem called Me Love My Breadfruit that I've been doing since 2004 in high school. And not just that, the first breadfruit tree in Jamaica was planted in Bath in St. Thomas. So the brand name, and I'm starting there, is paying homage to our culture largely, but where I'm from, in terms of coming from St. Thomas, being proud of where you are, where you're from. So where you are in the world and you see the word brescia or a bag brescia, you should identify and know, say, something come from yard, and you should feel proud of that. But what Brescia is, it's a creative family company, and we are committed to making people and families purposeful and prepared for life. One of the ways in which we do that is through the products that we make that we think help you to become more organized. They look good, yes, but it really helps you to be more productive, more organized, takes you from point A to point B in comfort, and ensure that your items, important items, are safely protected. You can look good while you are also on the move. So we are making personalized backpacks for professional, corporate professionals, young professionals.
I did that.
Duffel bags, pouches. We didn't start with roast by Brescia, which is what most people know now. We actually started out by making bags for school. And more red, green, and gold, black, green, and gold, culturally relevant themes. So people who know us now will see roast by Brescia, and it's more geared to corporate, upmarket professionals that take them to work. Some people take them to school, some people use them to travel out of town. In COVID, staycation was a thing, and you had to have a Brescia duffel bag or Brescia backpack for your staycation activities. Yeah, so we are big on families. We do our best to take care of our people. We are big on wanting to raise the profile of how people with talents and skills are seen. So when COVID hit us, everybody had to draw for the machines in them back room, and we're making masks. You get what I'm saying? But it's part of the message that we want to push is that we need to be self-reliant in a lot of ways. Everybody has a bag. And when we started, we saw that there was no brand in Jamaica making bags. So the bags you were taking to school, wearing to work, traveling with, we never had anything that was ours, And then we have equal to what we have in Jamaica in terms of the population. You have people in the diaspora. They feel proud now having a product that they can wear to university, to college, to corporate world in America, in UK, in Canada, that they can really feel proud of wearing something from yard.
I call Brescia the Bridgets of bags.
Yes.
We've heard that.
Yes.
Which is why I reject this notion that Jamaicans don't support Jamaicans or Jamaicans don't buy Jamaican products. That's I can't curse. That's rubbish.
Yeah. I
And
co-sign that.
I never had that philosophy. So, if you look at even at EduFocal, we don't have a physical product. We have a service that we offer, right?
And people buy it.
It's a service and it's a platform of sorts, right? And people have been paying for EduFocal to access our platform for years. So philosophy is important, and how you view things will influence your decision making, right? And if you see your people as people who don't appreciate other Jamaicans, then you're not going to invest in Jamaicans and create value in your homeland. So I reject that, and it's clear from what Brescia is doing and other brands, right? Like Bridget's and others that Jamaica. So, and I won't go on too long about this, but I was saying to my wife the other day, I said, I went and I bought some Bill Edwards shirts, right? So how I ended up at Bill Edwards was my mother asked me to pick up some address for her. So I've never been to his location, right? Whatever. So I go, I'm like, this is a massive operation.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me that you have people like Bill Edwards, you have people like Mark Anthony, Spokes Apparel, what's the other guy, Brown, Carlton Brown. You could go on and on, right? And of course, that's a specific industry, but my point is, it is clear that Jamaicans support Jamaicans.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope we're not waiting for specific questions to answer. There's so many gems that have been dropped already, and we wanted to make sure you're getting them. I was just going to, I don't know why Garden changing posture, but I was just going to say, I saw him and Randy sit down, so I saw me, I go sit down to the business, the rubber family, right? Yeah.
They're comfortable. They're comfortable.
Right? Jackie, I want each of you to think about it, but I want one successful trait that you think that makes a successful business operator or an entrepreneur. One, because I know each of you will give me a myriad of them.
Yeah.
One first, Jackie, what do you think is one of the key traits being a successful entrepreneur? Yes, you have a young company, but there are people whose companies start today and finish tomorrow.
Okay. Stick-to-itiveness. And I think that is everything for having a successful company. And so I may have started my company less than 2 years ago. I did that limited 2 years ago. But I've been in this business, multimedia, television, film, video, and television production for over 15 years. So I started as a production assistant, and today I can sit here to say I'm a CEO.
Yeah.
So to continue in an industry that is not easy, that is predominantly male dominated, or even just in any business. I am, right? I'm the female here. So I have to speak to the young ladies that are out there that are about to start your business. It is stick-to-itiveness. The men here can attest to it, to say they want to do something, they start it, and they're going to go with it. I know that they've plunged. There's things that happen, but there's the ups and downs, and you have to roll with that roller coaster. So it's like knowing, and then I'm always preaching discipline, right? And I love, what Brescia said, as you see, what Brescia says. And I know his name, but he says, it's about people, it's about profit, and then it's about purpose. And I think once you know who your people are, right? Yeah, the profit is going to come if you stick to it. And then you know what your purpose is, right? And you merge that with your discipline, because I want to interject here. Stick-to-itiveness, you'll have that and will always have that if you know that on the days that you're not motivated, you have to still work. That's discipline. That's stick-to-itiveness.
Garden.
Chutzpah.
Go again?
Chutzpah.
What's that?
He's gonna go
yes,
he's gonna continue. So that's all we do. We drop big words, clearly. Stick-to-itiveness and chutzpah. Yes.
It means shameless audacity. And that's important because, there's a song that Protege has. I don't remember the name of it, but I love the song. And an excerpt from it says, "Never saw a planet, but there's a specific part of it that says, there's a specific part of the song where it says, if not no, then when? If not me, then who? And that is how I look at it and I look at life, right? If not me, then who? What am I waiting on? There's nobody coming to save us, and there's nobody coming to save me. So if I want it, I'm going to go for it. So I hear a lot of times people say, oh, I'm afraid of asking for help. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Me? I'm asking for help every day. Because I need help every day.
No money than
no shame in my game. I ask for help, right? So if I need something, I'm going to take up the phone and I'm going to make a call. I'll give you an example. Recently, I don't want this to sound like humble bragging, right?
It is humble bragging. It's okay. We admire.
It's like sometimes you tell a story.
And then they're like, listen, that story. Finally, third one.
It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead,
But just to give an example.
No, we're traveling, yeah.
So, I've not been in a banking hall for years, right?
Humble brag.
Very, very.
Humble brag. I was in there yesterday.
Recently, I found myself in a banking hall.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in the line and I'm like, this is a busy day for me. I have so many things to do. I need to get this transaction done. I need to leave. So I go in my phone and I type the name of the bank, the person or people who I know work there comes up. And I say, who on this list can I call to help me to expedite this process? Call the person like, I'm in this situation. Can you help me? Like, yeah, man, no problem. Bam, hang up the phone, come back. Within minutes, I'm in the private banking section of that bank. My transaction is done in minutes. Now, I know people who, my mother, as an example, love your mommy, but my mother is the kind of person where she will be in a particular bank or whatever, and she's just going to stand in the line
Yeah, so
because she
like
don't
me.
want to ask nobody
Right.
if no, that's not me. So I would say one of the biggest things is having the audacity to be bold and ask for what you want without any shame in your game. Because as an entrepreneur, your number one job is selling. You sell every single day. Your number one responsibility is sales.
When I was coming here, I was talking to my student and friend, Steve. And I was telling my first job was in sales for 6 months. And I never want when them hang up in my ears and I call and say no. I said, okay. Yeah. I left that job after 6 months because I was not going to be begging anymore. So I really appreciate that piece of advice.
I call you every day.
Unless
you tell me no,
since, yeah.
I WhatsApp you, I'm calling you, I'm on you every day. Yeah. Every day.
And it's important because no man is an
man.
island. And as you said, I went in the bank recently and somebody came and said, come on, I'll wait, I have time today. So I get where you're coming from. No, you're thinking different still. You're thinking different. And the one he went to a private, I don't even know that banks have private.
Yeah. Like I didn't know they had those things. Like
one day I will know though. Randy, one thing for you.
One day. That's good leveraging. Yeah. But for me, the biggest word among guys, caring. Big word. Yeah. What was your boss's word again? Utspa. Learn something new every. That's the next thing with being an entrepreneur. You have to constantly
learn.
But caring is perhaps the word. One of the characteristics I think would be very important for an entrepreneur or a leader generally. That's big for me because I find I care about the work that I do, not so much because of the financial gains. As I think you alluded to it earlier, Jackie, if you take care of people and everything else, the people you work with, then the results will be clear. So for me, taking care of the people I work with, taking care of the customers, taking care of the stakeholders, suppliers, having good relationships with them, makes being profitable so much easier. Because then it's on the back of when the day comes and you're maybe short on payroll, you have good relationships with your people.
Come on, they're not coming for you.
And they will ensure that they don't go and blast you and fling big stone. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me, it's big because I am not just in this for the financial gain. If it was that alone, then I would have given up a long time ago. Because Brescia, the big brand that people love and know now, it wasn't always like that. There were days and months when you would have had to be waiting on money from clients. And at the end of the month, what am I going to do? Right? But through good relationships and really caring for people, ensuring that they're in a good, nice, clean, safe environment, ensuring that we understand what their needs are, but not just that. At Brescia, we care about, for those who have children, for instance, what is the situation at home? How are they doing in school? How can we assist with homework on the weekends? And we find that people, when you care about them as individuals, they are willing to give more. So if over time and we need to put in the extra work, them dead, right? If we have to get something done for a client, they'll go that extra mile. So caring, the whole point of compassion, these are things that are very important for me because it's a family company. One, not just the fact that myself and my brother started it, but because we understand that there's a deeper value, and what we're really trying to do as a company is to improve families. Right? That's the bottom line. Yeah. So that's a purpose behind what we do.
Absolutely.
And we're driven by that. And we find that improves so many other things.
May I have 2 bags, please? Like
Right?
Go ahead.
I want to be controversial. Randy said earlier that he's a social entrepreneur. Yeah. I don't believe in social entrepreneurship. And let me explain what I mean by that. If the focus is people, profits, and
purpose.
Our planet,
as it should be, then every entrepreneur is a social entrepreneur. A business by nature, a part of its ROI, should be creating value. Should. But for any business that is not creating value, they will either have a short lifespan or eventually they will run out, they'll not be in business. So every entrepreneur is a social entrepreneur. And there's a saying, heavy is the head that wears the crown. As the CEO, as the leader of your ship, when things are going well, your team gets the credit. And when things are going bad, you as the leader are responsible. So that is my controversial take. Maybe it is not as controversial.
Point of information.
Yes, I understand Gordon's point very clearly. So it's words and it's language. Some people say they are creative entrepreneurs. By nature, if you're really an entrepreneur, then there's some element of creativity. So it may be redundant for you to say creative and entrepreneurs. I think persons take on these titles to maybe emphasize what they are particularly interested in. So for me, I am not in one box. So yeah, I use social entrepreneur to emphasize that I'm heavy on the social impact, but I am not going to fool myself and not focus on the other elements which make a business viable and successful. So I'm not one of those. So I'm not ashamed or shy about talking about the profit. Understand? And ensuring that the profits are there because it costs to care. And I've learned that.
There you go.
Before starting Brescia, I was an activist and advocate, and I was doing impact work solely. And I was earning from every booking, donating to charity and helping, for instance, different survivors from Armadale Fire, for instance. All of these works that I was involved in. But when you're done, put on the retreats and hire counselors and food and bus to take them to nice locations and doing the wonderful impact work, people will be knocking on your door, calling your phone for their money. And so that's the angle at which I'm coming to it from. Maybe Gordon has seen others who say they're social entrepreneurs and they're just zeroing in on doing the impact work solely. For me, that's not the case, right? And you do have people, and that's the reason why you have a lot of persons who start an enterprise and within a year or two, or less than 4 years, they falter. That's because some of them are really not in it with any heart and soul, right? They're not about adding value. They just see a trend and I'm going to jump on it. And Jamaicans are like that. You understand? So that's a distinction I want to drive home, Gordon, that an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur, should be adding value. A lot of us are just Me Too companies, Me Too brands, Me Too. I see somebody else doing it. Oh, that look nice. Me can do it too. You understand? People come into your company and see you making bags, for instance, and they'll come and learn the thing and think, oh, this look easy, man. Let me go and try it myself. People have tried that, but it doesn't work. Because there's no heart and soul to it. There's no social mission. They're not connected to it in that. So I always encourage people, if you're going to go into business, don't just go into it for the money, because you'll have difficulties financially. I find it's the value that you want to add, it's a difference that you want to make that will get you up, that will keep you moving. And when you take care of those things, then the profit tend to take care of itself, right? So that's my the only distinction and clarification or addition I want to make. But I'm not one of those triple bottom line, man. People, profit, planet, and the purpose is all enveloped in that.
In my TV broadcast class, I told students, especially when COVID hit, everybody became a YouTuber. Everybody was on Instagram.
Everyone.
Yeah, I know at least 40 people, everybody. But 2 years after that, where are they? Because they wanted to get the views and the subscribers and make money, but it didn't happen, so they gave up. I'm gonna quickly just big up our friends in the chat. We don't want to leave you out. I see St. Thomas being hailed. I see Randy Tishana Mullins, your cousin.
Families in the house.
But earlier I saw Randy, you mentioned caring. I saw some person saying that all they want is a bag, just care.
Just care
for us. Right? Care for them enough and give them a bag. I want them care for our bills.
Buy a bag. Right? And they're enjoying and they're learning and they're adding their bits. I see a question for Jackie. I'm going to take that question. But first, Jackie, risk appetite. What would you say your risk appetite is? Are you high, medium, low?
Absolutely high at this level. And I could give an example, like Gordon always gives examples. But I think at the end of 2019, let's start 2018. At the beginning of 2018, I'm living in New York. So I'm just laying this out for you now. Let me tell you about risk. I am working over 100,000 US dollars. I'm living comfortable. I am, all parts of my life are taken care of, right? But there's a part of me that says I'm not living my truth. I'm not living my truth, and I need to figure that out. So it's a part of, if you're gonna start a business, you need to ensure that you know what your why is, and you need to ensure that when people say, do something what you love, that's what it means. Because you're gonna give up comfort. And the risk factor here is, I quit my job. I was working at a company called was it Storyteller? And then it was also with another company that was joined in New York. And we were doing some work with BET. So a big show that I was working on at the time would have been 50 Central, and 50 Cent was the executive producer of that show. And I was working at that, at I think it's Story Culture, and I was working with them for such a long time, and I was like, I just need to do my own thing. But also, I knew that I needed to go in development and ideation. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I've had all this experience, and I just want to own my creative power. I want to start my own TV show. I can't do that because I am doing all this work, production manager, producer, creative director for these companies and doing everything else. And then I decided it's time to take a risk. High risk. In 2018, I resigned. They kept a big party for me because clearly this girl know what she's doing, because you walk away from all this money. My boss is like, I give you 20,000 more US. I'll give you more benefits. I'll give you more. No, it's not enough. And I resigned from the job. And then I decided, end of 2018, I was like, I need to go home. I need to be in Jamaica, because what I want to do is start a Jamaican ideation company. And then I moved to Jamaica. I can't start it right away because I need to make sure that everything is good. So I still have to make sure money are flying in and out of the pocket, because I now have a life in the US. So I'm an American, I'm a Jamaican. I have to pay taxes as foreign and Jamaica. I have to figure it out, right? So I started consulting. So I started consulting for governments, did some campaigns, national campaign, did something Ministry of National Security, and I'm doing that. And that's also safe again. But I was like, am I falling in this trap where I'm not? So I decided at the end of 2019, I'm going to resign from all work, because 2020 is going to be my year. Yes. And I'm going to start Ideate that limited. And then COVID hit. And then at that point now, I have to be like, what is the next risk? Because I have to take another risk, you know, because I don't have enough money. Because it's 2020, we have to pay all of the bills, we have to pay taxes, what am I gonna do? And then my mom goes, here is the card. She goes, this is our savings, I'm telling you. And she goes, here, I can't fail. Because I know what my why is. And I have a thriving company that is doing extremely well and will continue to do that. So make sure you watch my TV show Psychology Off, and you buy my book, I Am That I Am, on Amazon.
Entrepreneurship is not for the weak at heart.
It's not. It's not.
Gordon, I hear them say something like bravery is 1 part courage and 3 parts stupidity, or something like that. I agree. Risk.
Hi.
So I'm listening to Jackie, right? And I've realized this for a long time, that you have to be a certain kind of crazy to be an entrepreneur, right? And
a certain type of crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certain type.
So clearly myself, Randy, Jackie, we're a certain kind of crazy. And it is important that you not fool yourself into thinking that you must be an entrepreneur.
Amen.
Right? Because value can be created in different ways.
That's right.
Not just through entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Mark Gale, good friend of mine, top shareholder in EduFocal, approached me maybe close to a decade ago. Now, Mark is an entrepreneur in his own right, but this example that I'm giving is a different way of creating value. So Mark says to me, Gordon, I believe in what you're doing. Remember, this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Gordon, I believe in what you're doing. I think this thing is going to be big. I'm going to give you my time and energy, my expertise. And Mark's background is in finance, programming, etc. So he has a nice intersection of understanding the different disciplines, right? So you're talking about putting together a capitalization table, etc., etc. So Mark, like, in his sleep. And there are things that I would have needed over the years that I could not have done on my own. No, because Mark believed in me. Mark worked at this without any money whatsoever in exchange for equity. And when we listed in 2020, that equity that was effectively worthless on paper, I think Mark's holding in EduFocal now is worth $40 million. So Mark took a risk, not necessarily as an entrepreneur in that regard, but realizing that he could add value to the life of an entrepreneur. Now, I'm sharing that to say that there are many people that you know, not necessarily you, but everybody in this room, you have that friend who's that kind of crazy, who has this crazy idea, and you have marketing experience, you have sales experience, you have legal experience, whatever it is. You don't have to leave your full-time job to start a company because your friend is already taking that risk. And instead of spending 5 or 6 hours per week, well, maybe people don't spend that much time partying. I'm just genuinely using partying as an example. But when you do an audit of your time, if you say to yourself, if I can find an extra 3 or 4 hours every week to help my friend who is an entrepreneur in exchange for sweat equity in their enterprise without leaving my job, if this thing does well, I win. If it doesn't, it's still low risk because I would have given my time that I would have been wasting anyway. So I want to also add that to the table. And say,
very important.
It sounds very attractive to be an entrepreneur. But to get even more personal, about 2 weeks ago, I started taking high blood pressure tablets, right? I'm 32. And one of my top investors, who call his name, jokingly said, yo, I'm going to sell me shares because you're clearly not taking your help seriously. I didn't sell and it was a joke. But I share that to say that, or one of the things he said to me was, Gordon, what we do is high stress.
High stress.
Even on high blood pressure tablets, my pressure is still high because I am stressed every single. So my wife will ask me and say, babe, are you stressed? I said, babe, I'm stressed every day. But I genuinely am stressed. I'm stressed right now. I'm stressed every day. Right? So
your brain doesn't rest.
No. And I saw a tweet. Somebody made a tweet the other thing, like a couple of days ago, and they say, and this is a tweet from the perspective of an employee. And they said, for the corporate folks out there, do you have 2 phones, one for work, one for personal, and a laptop, one for work, one for personal? And it dawned on me that never crossed my mind before because I'm always on. I'm always on. I remember about 2 years ago, somebody called me at like 8 o'clock. That turned out to be a $50 million deal. If I never took that call, I wouldn't have gotten that business. If my phone ring, I am answering it because I don't have the luxury of not answering it. Now, let me be clear. Yes, I'm extremely stressed, but I'm also extremely happy and blessed. Because I'm sure life.
And I'm sure you wouldn't. You don't want to do anything else.
No, absolutely. That's it. I love what I do.
That is it.
That's my drug. Right? Yeah. So I live a great life, and I've now started to reap the rewards of my success.
At 32.
At 32. Right? So my thing is, you have to be 100% sure that you want to take that risk. But if you're not sure that you want to travel that particular path, there are always alternatives. Now, the lowest form of that alternative is a high yield savings account, 7% per annum. You can check Jane, right? 7% doesn't beat inflation, but at least you get some parity with inflation and the money, and it sits there, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. My final point, just to show you how crazy I am. Last year, I said, you know what? I'm mad. So
You know, me can't.
So I said,
That
you
me,
know-
guys, I really thought I'd be the maddest one on this
so
set, but
I borrowed
hey,
some
Gordon
money.
beat me.
About like $20 million, right?
Wow.
I threw it on some equity. All right. And that thing doubled in 3 months. But if it didn't double,
Okay.
Trouble.
Double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yeah.
you follow me?
Yeah.
So when me tell you, say, yo, I'm mad, you know. But I didn't realize that my way of doing things is a little
Different.
Different.
a little
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different.
But I've come to
Appreciate.
my, my form of risk taking.
Randy, the only one with me who have gray hair.
I don't know how Gordon and I don't have gray hair.
Some of the
That's
stress that
weird.
God is alluding to. Because it does happen. I want to just add to what Gordon was saying, because I have a similar situation. And how I want to drive it home for our viewers is, and we have it as a core value at Brescia that says collaborate to be great.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. Everybody cannot do everything.
Yes.
Right? We all won't have the title or can't have the title entrepreneur or CEO or co-founder or founder. And we shouldn't be running down the titles either. If that's not what drives you, if that's what not gives you happiness or fulfillment, then don't run it down. Don't follow the crowd. And because entrepreneurship sounds like a sexy title now and a thing, a trendy thing, you're going to run it down. No, you will be disappointed down the road. What I'll encourage people to do is exactly what Gordon said. If you have talents and skills that you know a brethren or a sister who's an entrepreneur, and you see that they're struggling with the books or the finances or whatever, that extra time that you have on your hand, go and assist. It's sweat equity. But when the day of IPO comes, you'll benefit, and you'll benefit perhaps more than you'd have benefited from some, other means, right? So collaborate to be great. I find that we don't understand it enough, and we don't know how to partner up. We don't know how to work and encourage and lift each other up.
Some of us are bad man.
Yes, man.
Oh, I have my first season on my TV show was that psychology of bad mind, having a barrier mentality.
But I really want to drive home the point that you don't have to kill off yourself for trying to do it all. I'm not about that. I am really a creative, and so I don't find I'll do it because I have to as an entrepreneur and as a manager or leader, whatever the case is. But the day I can work more on the company and not in, I'd be happier, because I have so many ideas bubbling and driving, and every day I get them. I need to be creating and starting new. And so if I was working in a company in EduFocal, then I would see ideas and driving new things. They call it entrepreneur. So you don't always have to be starting your own, which is what I think Gordon was alluding to, but find ways that you can add value from the seat that makes you happy. Because not everybody would feel comfortable being on this panel, speaking, sharing like this as well.
To be clear, Randy, I
Facts.
wasn't talking
Facts.
about entrepreneurship.
No, I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
Yeah.
But I'm just adding that as a component as well, because I know Mark is also an entrepreneur, but he has a particular set of skills that perhaps you are not as strong as he is, right? I use an example. Conrad is a great marketer and digital marketing, and you know that IPP, they do my marketing and stuff and strategy and stuff. So in similar ways, we pull on the strengths of others around us to help us to get there. So I'm no self-made this and self-made that. You'll never hear me talking or claiming that. When we started Brescia, to this day, I've never sewn a bag. Me can't go around the machine and sew a bag. Collaborate to be great is a real thing. Myself and my brother, when we just started in that summer of 2015, we were up 24 hours. Well, he was up 24 hours making the bags. I was there making him tea. And bringing him crackers.
Come on.
And playing the music, and I build the vibe to ensure him don't fall asleep or the needle don't juke him.
Yes.
Right?
So what Randy is talking about is the value of community.
Yes.
Correct.
Similar to never sewing, I've never written a single line of code for EduFocal.
All right.
That's Paul.
All right.
I can't code.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have never. I think people think I'm the tech guy and the business guy. But I actually have a co-founder. But Paul is not a salesman, not one, you know, and I joke all the time, well, not joke, he shares the name of Microsoft's co-founder, Paul Allen, right? So his name is Paul Allen too.
Yes.
You know, and Paul has been a blessing in my life and was there, actually had his full-time job, but also writing code for EduFocal, and he started full-time in EduFocal February 2020.
Look at that.
Wow.
Which was
Already.
the timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
Right?
I see when people look at the brand, they see Ideate, they see EduFocal, they see British, they see
Surround-
your faces,
Oh, yeah.
but they don't understand the community behind it, the network.
Absolutely.
It's so important. And I
Absolutely.
applaud each of you for saying that, because there are some other people, oh yes, it's me.
No.
I applaud all of you for
I
saying
could
that.
not have the success that I have without community, and community comes in different forms. It
Correct.
could be your board of advisors, it could be your wife, your
Yes,
husband,
yes.
it could be,
Correct.
you know, a business partner.
Yeah.
No
Could be
man is an
mommy.
island.
Oh
It could be
yeah,
your
no,
mother,
oh
your
yeah, that's
father.
my,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my parents are also a part of my community, and
Yeah.
my parents have supported me in my journey in growing EduFocal.
Yeah.
Right? My chairman, Peter Levy, right? When I just met Peter, I couldn't ask Peter for money because he don't know me from Adams, right? But over time, you built
Build
a
a
relationship,
relationship.
with him. And the challenge with living in a poor country with a small population is we're a low trust country. I've said to people, an Airbnb could not work in Jamaica. You know why? Because there's low trust. If a man come to you, right, or a Craigslist, if a man come to you and he's selling you something maybe below market price, the first thing you're going to do is question it.
Yeah.
I think this is an actual economic theory around this stuff, right? America and other countries that are rich have high trust. And I'm not saying that the people that have low trust are wrong.
Yeah.
They're absolutely right. When you live in a poor developing
There
country,
you go.
trust is low,
There you go.
right? So
It's scarcity mentality.
yes, absolutely.
That's what
right?
it is, yeah.
So in a country like Jamaica, community is so important because in the community you build trust. That is how you push back against a low trust situation. You form a community, you build trust. People know that them can trust you, them can do business with you, them can depend on you. Mark and I, Paul and I, never had a signed contract around sweat equity. I gave them my word,
Wow.
and I honored my word.
Wow.
Years later, that was only ratified right before the IPO.
But it's interesting. We as Jamaicans, we have a strong sense of community, but we don't take it to the next level. Yeah? We start at home, and you have your friend who you trust and your circle, and when it comes on to certain petty things or smaller things, but we don't take it to the next level.
Ask you a question, Brian. How many family members you do business with?
Don't they watch some of them and they can answer you.
No, I don't do business with a lot of family members, and that's an affliction of the black family.
I was about to.
Here,
that is
I was going
that
to
was
look
going to
at
be.
other families.
I know we're talking about community, and I don't want to play devil's advocate, but the people that clap for me and people that
Yes,
support
are
me
genuine,
are
not generally
genuinely
not.
and are my friends.
you
They're
go.
not my family.
There you go.
So, and I'm sharing that.
Thank
to
you,
say
Mama
that-
Gloria.
I am sharing that to say that that is something we have to push back
Have to
on.
change.
Cultural
So-
thing.
I say it all the time, right? There are families in Jamaica and elsewhere, without getting too deep into this, that their bank accounts go back like 100 years, right? Like, my father was the first person in his family to have a bank account. Think about it. That's only 2 generations in.
2 generations.
My son would be far better off
There you go.
than I was. So we're going 3 generations in, and God's willing, it continues to build. So,
Build a
but that's a whole. I mean,
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Shanna saying it's a rich discussion, not just because the people up here are rich, but it's a rich discussion. And I see the JN team sharing links for you to follow all of and get more information from all of our panelists. I want to take some questions from, so if you can scroll down for me to the first question. But before that, I'm going to ask a question for a giveaway. The JN team. I've been enjoying this so much, I didn't realize the time has flew fast. And a lot of what I have on my sheet here, them answer already. So that's beautiful. I'm going to keep it light. So we've gotten the heavy stuff. I'm going to give you time to belch and digest. I'm going to ask an easy, simple, light question to see if you were listening. Randy and Gordon go way back. Where did a certain conversation happen, and what was it about that pushed Randy? Simple, easy. Yeah?
Me remember
Simple,
that.
easy. Jackie, while they're answering in the chat and the team is looking, Jackie, this question is for you. Aside from starting your business in the heat of COVID, if you can, please share the most significant challenge. Boy, I never like ask this most because you have so many most significant challenges as entrepreneurs. But if you can identify one that stands out readily, Jackie, that you faced while building your company and how you overcame it. So identify one.
Okay, so the foundation, so I have multiple streams of income under my company, Ideate That Limited. So Ideate That Limited is the foundation, but as I said, I have the TV show, I have the coloring book. So the first thing that I did when I launched Ideate That, even before I got my first client, what I did is I launched, like 2 months later, I did a trailer for my TV show, went to TVJ, and TVJ is like, oh, we love this idea, this is great, and we'll have you on air. So you just need to pay this amount of money, because the model for TVJ, for TV here in the Caribbean, is you have to pay to get your show on TV. So we don't want to get into that. But, so that means now I need money to get my first season going, right? Psychology of Bad Mind. Guys, this is a great product. This is amazing. Hired the best in business, GD Films. I have all, my team, Sade Brown. I have Najee. I have all my team just ready and roaring. And then I'm going out and I'm pitching because I need money. And I've also invested so much of my money in there. I'm obviously going to get some profit back, right? Nothing. There was no profit. No, the TV show got shot, all of that, but I came out at a loss. That was probably the most challenging thing for me. Just at the company, I'm 5 million under. Like how? Like I just never. Like nobody told. Like I didn't.
Product, great
Great
production.
It looked good. It's what a loss. And I can tell you, it was yesterday. Well, I had to walk in the bank because I'm not as wealthy as Gordon, right? I'm in pre-production for season 3, which is going to be about money. So this is perfect for my show. But I walked in yesterday to clear my last loan because my company was so young, I couldn't take out a loan under my company. I had to take out a personal loan to pay off Psychology of Death. And yesterday, I dropped $2 million on the last client that I had. So what I'm saying is that was 2021, right? That is 2021. So if I had listened to that failure, and most people see that as a failure, for me, that was a challenge. But the opportunity now is like, all right, but it looked good, great reviews, followers, people are calling me, they get clients because of the show. So wait now, season 2? You asked me if I'm high risk? Let's do it again. So then I did season 2, Psychology of Bun, and that took off, and I broke even. Oh, nobody for that. So season 3, which is about money, I'm about to make bank. I'm about to make bank like these gentlemen here. So so that's it.
And I recently posted that baby steps are still steps.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Indeed. All right, so let me see. Before I take any more questions, let me see if anybody won team. Grayson is our winner. Grayson says Gordon.
Yay, Grayson. She was paying attention.
yeah. Grayson, I remember say it was on a
yes. On a bus, yes. She know all the parish. Good
Grayson
stuff.
in the bus.
I love it.
Yeah.
Grayson paying attention.
Grayson. All right, so one of the things I've heard, and I've heard testimonies, and one of the things I've heard is that for a certain type of crazy and to have high risk, there is something that gets lost along the way, some sacrifice. Would that be sleep? Would that be relationships? Would that be family structures? And I know I didn't ask you to jump on what I asked Jackie, but I won't ask what is the biggest sacrifice you've had to make, because that may be too personal. But Randy, this is so heavy because I'm thinking about my life and I don't have the risk or the appetite that you guys have and take the risk that you did. But how do you manage to balance family life? And you have recent additions. How do you manage to balance family life? Let me not even say how do you manage. Can you balance?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the balance is. I don't know. When I find it, I'll perhaps be able to communicate it to you. Right now, I'm not even so much striving for balance. I'm trying to show up each day for the people I love and for the people I care about and for what I love doing as well. So it is true that when you're doing business, perhaps when you're in a 9-to-5 as well, things get affected, certain relationships are affected. You don't get to check in with everyone as you would perhaps love to, because as Gordon alluded to, your mind is always going. You have things to fix. Everything rise and fall on the shoulders of the leader. You have for us, it was myself and my brother who started Brescia. We have 20 odd people on the team now. Every month, every day, you have to be thinking about these people. I have friends who perhaps think you're hype now, or I think you're rich, or I think you're rich on switch. Because you don't call them as often as you used to, or message them as often as you used to. They don't do it either. But maybe the responsibility is
that part again.
They don't. I was like, just repeat that part. They don't do it either.
It is true. And sometimes when you actually get a chance to stop and reflect, it is a little hurtful, or maybe a lot hurtful.
Yeah.
Because not everybody will understand the journey that you're on, and how demanding it is, and how stressful it is.
No, they only see the glory.
They only see the glory, but they don't see the sacrifices at the end of the day. But for me, remember, I'm doing this because I feel a strong sense of attachment and purpose in what I'm doing, and give thanks I'm able to choose how I show up daily as well. As CEO for the company, I have a strong team and a growing team now. So at the end of the day, what inspires me is the fact that I feel like I'm doing something to improve people and to improve lives. And so that gets me going. And my family is so important to me, especially the small unit that I've just started, got married a couple of years ago. I have my first child on the way. I'll join Gordon as a boy dad pretty soon by this time next month.
I'm the single one in the sector. But guess what? I have the youngest company. I have the youngest company, so
How about for the truck? So I'm looking forward to that. Do I have all the answers? No, I don't. Gordon can tell you, I called up his wife a couple of days ago to chat with Kem, just to see how things are going, and for some insights about how this thing, what books am I to be reading, what's the name of the school thing that Kamisha post about Montessori. I watch all of these things, and I saw the journey that they started and want to start reading all these things. It never ends, Brian.
Yeah.
Which is why we have to be continuous learners, whether it be in business, in family life. Everybody wants to be happy, and I want to be happy at the end of the day, and we want to be successful because we work hard. But I don't want it to be that I put out everything in business and then my family is left behind to suffer as a result of that. I think there has to be a better way, a different way. And for me, and particularly because of my upbringing as well, I'm not compromising on family and this core unit that I have a chance to mold and to build. I know for a fact that too often our Jamaican family is too dysfunctional. Too often, right? And so this is a particularly personal thing for me, that I show up as a father. I've not missed a doctor's appointment with my wife. If you follow me, I'll do an ultrasound every day. Me frightened like that.
Frightened Friday. I love it.
Frightened Friday.
I love it.
I'm there.
Actively involved.
Actively involved. But going through this process, and I don't know if you connect with this, Gordon, and this is not necessarily business, but this is family. When I'm so involved with this, and I start to ask myself, a man workless? How is it that a man not show up for his child? But then I start to reflect and start to ask females, and a lot of them that maybe don't take care of their children, they're not involved with this. They're not there to see that first ultrasound. They're not going to the doctor's visits. And so maybe we need to start doing something different in terms of how we prepare our young men, in terms of how involved we are. I know some of us are doing a great job as young fathers and trying to change the narrative, but for me, if that's balanced, then it has worked for me. I want to be involved in everything, and I'm not leaving it up to the mother alone. It's all of us, right? Both of us who are involved, supported the rest of the family. And I'm just trying to embrace it as it comes, with the understanding that family is key. So there's this biological family, there's this close-knit. I see Brescia as family as well. That's family work for me.
The business you're learning, you have business model, and you're also taking pieces of it for your family.
Amen.
Amen. My wife always said, when we had children, and because I was involved and I'm very involved. And I think you are right. We have to change the narrative from young so that we can actually be a part of the parcel. You just get the pictures and all of that.
Yes.
I want you to give a sentence on that, Gordon, because I know you can give an episode. I want Jackie. I have a heavy question for you. That's why I just want a sentence or two from you as relates to balance and family life. I want Jackie to give me more in-depth on that. So you just a quick buy note.
Keep taking pressure medication.
Yeah, that's
So,
So,
you know, Randy, if I've never said it before, which I'm sure I have, I'm saying it again. I'm very, very proud of you,
yay.
my brother. Very, very. It's inspiring listening to you.
Yeah.
And as a father, as a father, I'm about to have another child. I'm about to have my little girl.
Girl dad.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's a girl dad.
Girl dad.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Brian, I can't articulate. You'll have to give me a little bit more than that. But it's up to you. We can skip over me if you want. But you know, that's a very, very emotional for me.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I know it.
You look at even today, for example. I got up at 7:30. I had a speaking engagement so I work from 7:30 to 10. Usually I'm in the study and my wife comes to me and asks me if I can break to have breakfast with her and my son. And that's disappointing for me. I hate that I have to do that. So today, for example, at 7:30, I had a speaking engagement online from 11:30 to 12. Work again, and then I had another speaking engagement at AC Hotel from like 2 to 3. Went home, did some more work, and then I'm here.
Yeah.
It's now 7:40.
Full circle.
You know, and I'm going to go back home
And work.
You know, I told my wife to have dinner with me tonight because I'll be home late.
Yeah.
And chances are when I get home, I'll be asleep. Now, this pregnancy in particular has been extremely difficult for us. And I'm very present, but I wish I was more present.
Understood.
So, yeah, I mean, there's no balance. There's no balance, unfortunately.
There's no balance.
Yeah.
That sums it up. I want team to scroll back to the heavy question for Gordon. Jackie, chime in on the balance.
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention is because I'm the girl on the panel, I need to say that, you know, go dads. You know, that's amazing. I had an amazing father who passed away in 2014. And I think I am the woman that I am. I am hardworking. I am serious about the things I do because I had a man in my life that taught me that you can do it. And he gave me the voice I have is because of him. My mom is quite the opposite, you know, passive, sweet, and an angel. But I am the woman I am because of my father. So that's the first thing. And then I will say I'm single.
Look at the chat blowing up. Yeah.
Right, I'm single, and it's because I don't have the time. I just don't have the time. I have a team to lead. I live in 2 countries. My company is new. There is so much that is reliant on me. Ricky Anwita is here. She's the first person that I employed like full time because I couldn't afford it. And I am grateful for the assistance, her coming in, but with all the help, I went to the doctor last week. I was like, I don't know. I think something is wrong with me. He goes, he says, take out your phone. And he goes into the health, because I have an iPhone, and he goes, it says you only sleep 2 hours.
I remember when I asked you in the pre-chat to this, because we're friends and we link, you said, what sleep?
Yeah, like I don't, and I've been struggling. And so the honesty here is, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to go out, and you want to make business, and you want to do it at a particular level, you are going to make some sacrifices. I am a CrossFit level 1 coach. I used to work out twice a day, washboard abs. I have a pudge.
I know, I wish
No.
Jackie, is single not because she doesn't have the time, but because there are very few men that can match her energy.
Whoa!
Right?
Whoa, really?
So this is Jen
Yeah.
circle relationship.
This is not about my love life. This is not about my love life. No.
But you know, I can understand somebody like Jackie. She's big energy. She needs
she
big
is.
energy. Otherwise, she going to dominate the
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
I get that.
Right, and it's not just
But they have to make sure you remember, say, my show. That's yeah? With somebody that's young and
Brian, stop it! That's not true.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I understand that, but then no. No, so I think what is important, I don't want to, I'm congratulating you guys. All three of you are amazing fathers, right? And I guess I know we know in a business, I can say that. Just keep doing that because we need that sort of thing on father figures and to show us, to really show us how we need to, you know what I mean? That treat our children, right? Yeah. And I say, and I talk about my personal life to get back to the point that you're making big sacrifices, right? I can only imagine. I know as like the last person I dated, oh my God, I can't believe this is a really, me turn the good people, MJ, and showing to personal life, whatever. But it was like,
Testimonial.
right?
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
we did say testimonial, right? He goes, when are you going to put down the laptop? Like, when are you going to put down the laptop? And it would be a constant argument about when are you going to put down the laptop? Because I'm always working. But how can I not always work when I know what I want to do? So my advice is to people is, you know, family planning is important, but also your partner and choosing a partner is critical, paramount to whether or not you're going to succeed in life. I'm telling you.
I have scheduled lovemaking.
And you have do you schedule lovemaking? I'm single. I'm single and celibate, so I don't know about that. So no, but like seriously, when people are no, serious something, man. So I'm like, I have to look at, so partnership now, love isn't enough. That's the first thing.
It's PG, right?
Yeah. We're good. And I realize everybody in the team laugh when them to scheduling. All I want to know it go.
Right. So one is, you know, making sure you have a partner, but also not a partner that just loves you, because like love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to love you on the days that you're not lovable. That's the first thing. And then the other thing too is you have to be with somebody that has the vision. And most relationships fail, most entrepreneurship, it fails because you don't have support. Having a partner that understands the vision and the mission. And then the last word I will say is lifestyle, because that's my lifestyle. I want to be healthy. I want to drink sparkling water. I want to have salmon. But there are days I want to drink one bottle of wine. That's, for me, that's balance. You know, so really and truly, there isn't any balance when you're passionate about something. I always tell people, just like Gordon, he said it, and I was like, why Gordon just keep taking my points? But like 24/7, if you call me at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can get me. If you call me at 6 a.m., you can get me. It doesn't matter because I'm always on.
When the right people call, we don't want certain people call. 2 a.m. now, I'll be like, Jackie, what's up?
No, but that's work.
Yeah, no, yesterday.
That's work.
Yesterday, my wife and my son were.
I'm not advocating for that, guys. I know, but eventually,
reality.
yeah. Continue,
yesterday, my
Gordon.
wife
Sorry.
and son were in the couch in the living room, and I went up to her and I said, "True story." And I said, "Babe, I'm gonna ask you for 10 more years. Like, I need 10 more years of dedicated focus." And I did the math for her. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I said to her, you know, I'll be 42.
Two.
That's
not
still
two,
fairly
yeah.
young. Our son will be 13 and our daughter will be right behind him in terms of age. And
Yes.
he will also be very young. So here what? I have a profit goal. It's about 10 million US per annum in 10 years or less. And I have a clear path, but it requires focus. So I said, babe, and her response to me was, as long as we can pay the bills. So
Yeah. See, that's vision. That's vision.
So my thing is, you have to have a partner too that, as Jackie has said, believes
Buys into your vision.
and
Have to
buys
buy
into
it
your
into
vision.
it.
Otherwise, you're going to clash.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna have a clash.
And then you're going to crash.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to add to this real quickly. Very important. I mean, my wife, Veronique, was working a few years ago. And when we just started Brescia, she would have spent the days with us because she was a stage manager with Basil Dawkins at the time.
Yeah.
She has her degree in microbiology, but she was working as a stage manager. But in the days, she was with us, deciding on material, deciding on fabric, helping us to cut, helping us to trim up products when we just started Brescia. We were just friends at the time, but she bought into the mission and the vision. A year later, she would have resigned from that job and decided to come onto the team full time.
There it is.
And we never had the money to pay her
Okay.
at the time. Now she's a shareholder in the company.
That is it.
She's married to one of the founders.
Bing, 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 bing.
Right.
Ching, ching,
It's
ching,
her
ching.
company.
It's her company. Better not divorce her.
Her company. No, that's not in the plan. No, but it's important.
Yeah.
She gets it, vision-wise, mission-wise, because not everybody would give the support that's needed.
Nope.
Right? It's not a competition. It's really about collaboration. Right? We need the support.
Yeah.
Sometimes family won't understand.
Yeah.
They don't know and understand what we are doing in a lot of the cases. Right? My family, they know about farming. They know about going to the farm and planting some sweet potato and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But understanding how to structure up a business and where do you have those conversations?
There you go.
Where do you start?
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, I'm trying to start something here. So to get somebody who buys into that vision and is on board with it, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm so happy about the woman I decided to marry, and that she's a friend first and foremost before she became wife.
Yes.
You know,
I love it. All the men here are just so
Yeah.
happily married.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, no geldings up here. I love it.
You have to buy into the
I
vision,
love
or there's
it.
gonna be division.
Yeah.
And wow.
And sorry,
It's
Brian,
so-
I think
yeah,
it's
man.
important that we not give this false impression that marriage is a fairy tale. It's not.
Come on.
Yeah.
now.
Marriage is extremely
Really
hard.
hard.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know,
And there will be unhappy moments in the happy
absolutely,
marriage.
absolutely, right? So yeah, let's be clear. This is not no Disney.
Pretty up.
No, no.
fairy tale,
Real,
always
real.
work
Yeah.
endings.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it is you choose to stay married.
Yes.
yeah,
It's
so
a
like
choice.
I mentioned
It's a
as I
choice.
think
Choice.
before, we had to, dates. We had to schedule all of that time when we speak on the phone.
Just the
I had,
dates, garden, nothing else.
yes, I'll just make it PG.
I didn't say I did it.
He's just talking for other people.
No, there was a point I
Simple
remember when I placed conversations with her in the calendar. No, and she took offense initially. But when I explained to her,
Deliberate
I
action.
remember
Yeah.
I said when the relationship was young, at this point, Ver, you are not my priority.
And
The company would have
some people vex.
people, most females that go,
It's the same thing that Gordon talking about my energy. I tell the suitors that are outside looking, I said,
Yeah.
you just can't be right now.
how could you? But a lot of persons, it's not that I don't care about you.
Yeah, they can't
But
get
when
that.
I have this baby,
Yeah.
I just started this company.
Yeah.
If we have a date planned and something comes up and I get a call,
Oh, gone.
I have to cancel. Sorry. Understand? But just understand that there's this big vision and mission. If it works and our relationship works, then you'll benefit from it down the road. The 10 years that God is begging, it will benefit you.
And
as
they
you-
take a different route.
You get what I'm saying? So having somebody who buy into that and get it and can put the little ego aside,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's not an easy road. But understanding the vision and understanding what we're about and understanding that we are taking this journey together.
Yeah.
You need a journeyman or a journey woman.
Indeed.
Enough time I get born, so I understand, me, my wife,
But
and Sterling, and Sterling Gospel Music Awards in a bed together. And me, I look for her and she do business. Yeah, so I understand it, no man. She always
Yeah.
other people to the other things to the bed.
Because I was fully going to call Bassy now.
No man.
I was fully with a Bassy really I get born.
Beside Kim and they have EduFocal in the middle. Yeah, Randy Lane. Yeah, it's always another person.
I have two girlfriends and
There
I
you
have two
go.
wives.
There
right?
you go. There you go.
EduFocal is that that girl that
Yeah.
gets my attention.
Yeah.
right? So
All right, we're wrapping up. I'm not even ask the next question yet because we have so much we want to say. I'm going to save it for when we're wrapping up. We want to get into some advice. The question though for Gordon.
Yeah,
Gordon,
it's a
we in the
question for
last
Gordon.
couple minutes. So see how best you can drop it real quick. The person was talking about, you made mention that your business is in the Caribbean. If you can find it for me,
Yeah, I
please.
think it was a Keisha that had asked.
And they were asking,
Yeah.
up again. It's a long one, so you'll see. We'll
There's
know when
another
it
one
gets
for
here.
Randy too.
All right, here we go. So you mentioned your business
great.
also exists in the Caribbean. When you consider the series of Blue Ocean strategy, how do you identify untapped market opportunities and differentiate your business in an industry that now has other players? So
Right.
first things first,
Clearly.
most of we don't know what is Blue Ocean
Strategy, right? Yes.
And then secondly, hold on, sir. And then secondly, that untapped market opportunities and whatever.
Yes,
you want,
other place.
yes, you want to get free advice. Garden can't sell this, you know.
Yes,
So listen up
easily.
now. Go on through, Garden.
Take it away.
So people have this thing where they say, "Oh, I don't want to share my idea with people because they're going to steal it." That's rubbish. If you have an idea and you implement it, and it is great, people are going to try to copy you.
Yeah.
Whether it happens before or after the idea is executed does not matter.
Right.
So I have no fear or shame in sharing my ideas.
Say it again.
It's number one.
Yeah.
Now, well, Blue Ocean Strategy it's not a book, but it's a book. You should go and read it, and it's just a particular way of doing things to keep a long thing simple,
Thank
right?
you for that.
Right now at EduFocal, we're working on this tool called Amigo, and it's focusing on formative and summative assessment, right? Because we realize that lesson planning, learning outcomes, and setting assessments around these things is extremely hard for teachers.
Yeah.
See, I'm here sharing with you what we're focusing on, what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Now, we could have only surfaced that opportunity because of the time that we've spent in the space. I gave the advice to somebody earlier today, and I'm giving the advice here. Choose an area that has longevity, right? That AI won't kill, right? This is probably hard.
Very important.
Let's not start
Very
that.
important.
Choose an area and develop expertise in it, because that is the only way you'll start to surface opportunities that most people won't see. Now, I've shared this idea, but it's no longer an idea. We're actually implementing it September and working with schools on it for September. But I have no fear or concern about it being copied by others, because they can't do what we do.
That is it.
That is right.
You can't come test me,
That is right.
That
Straight
is
up.
it.
right? So to really answer the question, we've been in space for 11 years. We know what we're doing.
Know your worth.
We know how to execute it, and nobody can do it better than we can.
Simple.
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Like we should just walk off set.
This is a
We just
master
walk off
class.
set. Master life
Master
class.
life class.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is for you, Jackie.
Oh, tips.
No, I want you to share some strategies as it relates to budgeting,
Oh,
as it relates to financial management.
why are you asking me? Like the
to-
big money man them next to
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
let me tell you, because and she just said that she went to the bank
and
did
pay
it.
off my bills. And pay off
I
my
was with
bills.
her last week, and she brought me to
Don't start. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to
the
it.
bill, right? And she
No, bro, I got
no, man.
this. I got this. Yeah.
Guys, I want to know better.
I'm
Yes.
joking, guys. That didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yes,
So-
yes, it did.
How you encourage as it relates to budgeting and financial management for a young person out there
Okay.
who's just going to start?
He's just going to start. Okay. So I'm going to pull from a couple of things that that was said before, and then I'm going to tell you my strategy because I'm not afraid. I'm willing to share. Cool. So I'm not good with numbers, but I have loads of friends that are good with numbers, right? So for me, my company is collaboration over competition. One of my best friends is an accountant. I hire an accountant, and I have a business manager. So my job is to ensure that I follow the rules that are set for me. So my banker will call and say, this is what you need to do. These are the steps that you need to take. But before we get to that point, what I've had to do is I have to look at what is the money that I have here, what is the capital that I have to spend, and then the other thing is I have this to spend, but how do I live below this, right? I could afford to drive a BMW, but I just have a little old car.
No old.
Like, did you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you have to do the things that I do, but I live below my means because I know that the book stops with me. So my advice is strategically do a monthly budget. I know every single dime I spend, from food to gas. I mean, The money, I don't remember the last time I bought clothes, but because I have not, it's not plugged into my budget. The clothes that I buy is Ricky order or Ideate that TV shirt, Ideate that shirts. Like this is, you know what I mean? Because it's not plugged into budget. So if it's not in the budget, it doesn't get done. Pay the business thing, pay the credit card, make sure it's paid, and then I put $50,000 for food and coffee. I don't compromise on that.
But one thing I've got is that you may not be the expert in that particular area.
No, but I go to others.
You know, you have an idea and you're following it.
Oh, I just
learning
follow
as
the
well.
steps. And I'm saying, you have friends. You have friends who know it. I just follow the Excel sheet. Oh, plug in here, take the picture of this, all of that. That is exactly what I do.
mean, with everything else that you're doing, you couldn't afford to do everything, and each of you have made mention of the fact that you have to have other people. Because if you're doing everything, you would.
I have an
you would have special
accountant.
type
I
of
don't need
crazy
to.
being crazy.
Yeah. I don't believe that you need to do everything for yourself, because if you, this is why I go, listen, so I'm have to live beyond the means. I can't drive the Benz, come have to pay me accountant.
Randy, recently dropped a new bag. Yeah, love it. So I thought we need to see it before I buy the one I'm gonna buy for my wife. But we'll get there.
Yes, sir.
Can you,
Wrong with having more than one?
No, right?
how can you, or what's your advice to young persons, you know, as it relates to adapting and creating new strategies to stay relevant in the market?
Well, great question. I mean, Gordon is an advocate for going deep and not wide.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Lord.
So, and understand what he means by staying in the space and not being afraid to own your ideas and talking about them. There are ideas and opportunities around us every day. One of the ways you can find new ideas and opportunities, you have to read widely. For me, it's about the content that you consume. For us at Brescia, it's how we communicate with our customers. And we get daily insights from our customers in terms of what next to make, what next to do. We're serving them. We're trying to add value for them. And so they are in our inbox. I'm on the phone, in WhatsApp, in email, and they're telling us.
Yes.
I can't wait for the wallet to drop.
They're telling us wallets.
Oh, I can't wait for the wallet to drop. I'm sure I sent a comment about
Here's
that
an
too.
example.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did send it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, can I get a wallet,
Yeah.
please?
Baby bag.
Yeah.
Me and Gordon could do well with two now. You understand?
Brian too.
No, so they are there.
Yeah.
So my advice would be to listen to your customers. Do your research as well if you're just getting started. Again, the aim is not to be a Me Too company or a Me Too brand. If you see something or a space there, how can you add value? How can you distinguish? How can you become the expert? How can you become the go-to in that space? Right? So spend some time and do that.
Research, man.
Join industry associations. So for me, it was JMEA and getting involved with that organization very early to understand from a productive sector standpoint and manufacturing standpoint, what outside of food the country needs. When we started and I did some research and realized the quantity of bags that Jamaica was importing, we're importing all the bags that we were wearing for school, for work, for travel, everything. None of it was being made locally. And so Bridget was doing sandals. People like Carlton, they were making clothes, but guess what? Nobody was making bags.
Yep.
Clear opportunity. When they say
That is
blue
it.
ocean strategy,
That is it. Research.
you understand? But research gave me that insight.
100%.
When
100%.
we, myself and my brother, St. Thomas Youth, growing up in Rockford, on the veranda, remember I was traveling doing poetry over 15 countries as a dub poet, doing workshops on Jamaican language and dub poetry. But when we spotted this opportunity for one, import substitution, to send Jamaicans to school with a Jamaican-made bag, to send people to work with a Jamaican-made bag, it was clear that, all right, let's give it a go. My brother is a self-taught designer. Pulled down old bags and built them back up and created his own designs, took photos of them, posted them to social media. We started a company out of this thing. So I'm saying the inspiration can come from anybody, anywhere, but you have to put yourself in the place. Do the research, talk to people, listen to people, go to the mingles, join some association, talk to your friends. What are the gaps? Do some research if you have a friend who's into research. But figure out what you love and where you can really add value.
I wanna add on to that. Yeah, I want to add on to that. there's a fear for technology. There's a fear for information. And we have to go over that hurdle. It's there. You want to create a logo? Go download Canva, it's free.
Easy.
You want to create a website? Go download Wix, it's free.
Easy.
You want to do videos? CapCut. What I'm saying to you is, I can give you my strategy because it's $9.99, right? You just have to put yourself in a position where you're willing to do the research. You want to get your name of the company and want to figure out, all right, Toodles, backpack, you want to figure out a name for your company, go down to Jaipur. Them have a beautiful jumper building where you can go into the AC, type onto the computer, and you type in 100 names, and it will tell you whether or not any of those names are listed. When we are afraid of information, and that is going to make a lot of people unemployed.
There's a certain type of information we're afraid of.
Right, there's just a certain type of information that we're so afraid of.
And I don't know why, but then...
And I know Gordon can add on to that as it concerns like AI, and we need to embrace ChatGPT.
But guess what? Again, as it pertains to ideas and spotting opportunities, which people complain about things all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if there are situations in our personal lives that happen to us that we don't love, and we have problems. For me, when there's a problem, there is a solution.
Listens all the time.
Entrepreneurial mind goes to work
right there
in terms of finding the solution. You get what I'm saying? So in COVID, we could have said, and we did close for about a month, because all right, this big pandemic is coming. What do we do? People have to stay home. But then I reflected and I said, all right, but people still have bills to pay. You understand? They still have families to take care of. Or how are they going to cope? And then I pulled on my experience as a performer. If something goes wrong, the mantra is the show must go on. And then I called up the team and I said, guys, the show must go on. What are we going to do? Everybody was making masks from fabric, from cloth, or the ones made from China being brought in. Nobody was making them from the leather, vegan leather material that we used. And Brian, since we made that first one, my brother and the team went to work and innovated with that idea. We never had a hand to sell masks.
Yeah, my 15 has masks.
And that's how we literally survived in the initial stages of COVID. Governments, corporate companies, individual customers were ordering the masks for the family, the companies, etc.
Adaptability.
But there's idea. You have to be willing, though, to make a move, to ask questions, get your team involved, get your customers involved, use the technology, put a post out. Garden has this brilliant thing again. Garden, you still do it? You write a blog post every year.
Recently stopped.
You stop doing it. But I watch these things and I say, all right, he puts it out there. He has the ideas, he puts them out there. And then that's how we have been held accountable as well. Because that's the thing, we don't take on things because we're afraid of failure.
Oh, of course.
So we have the ideas sometimes and we see them and we just say, let it go on. Maybe somebody else would do it, whatever it is. But go for it.
Gordon says, if not me, then who?
In front of me, who?
I find myself wherever I go and I see backpacks, overseas especially. I looking at them and I say, but that's not a brush. I looking at that, comparing it.
So, it's a job. Brian, I wanted to make a point, right, about surfacing ideas and how important that process is, and how, or just creating an actionable way for people to do it. People underestimate how their environment affects how they think and how they create new things. And I'll give you an example. If you think about your typical, not you, but just generally, if you get up every day, the first thing you do is open Instagram.
I was going to ask you, how much time do you spend on Instagram, TikTok?
The
algorithm is going to surface, especially the explore section. It's going to surface the things you want to see the most. That's number one. So you create this cycle of seeing the same thing. So that's so I'm talking about social media specifically. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you're indulging in, it's going to surface. That is what that's the algorithm into your brain, right? The other part of it is you get up every day, you talk to the same set of people, you do the same set of things, but yet you want to spark creativity. So I have a policy, right? From maybe 10 years ago, I decided that I was going to stop reading the front page of both newspapers, and I was going to stop listening to the TVJ
News.
7 p.m. news. I've not listened to it, and I've not done that in 10 years.
Wow.
Same.
Now, why? Now, if you talk to me about what is happening in Jamaica, nobody no more informed than me. But here's what I do. I will read the business section of both newspapers because I have to stay knowledgeable. And you don't have to do it this way, but I used to spend a lot of time driving. I paid for Sirius FM radio, right? Before Sirius FM, a lot of people don't know that you can pick up BBC
Yes.
locally,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Now, I find locally that we exhaust the same set of topics: politics, corruption,
Crime.
Crime.
same
Crime,
topics,
yeah.
crime
Yes.
over
Yeah.
and over and over and over.
Nothing
And
new.
right? It's ridiculous. I used to subscribe to the e-papers, and they give you like you see the front page over the last 50. It is so predictable.
It's the same thing.
So you enter this state of frustration. Oh my God, I want to migrate, right? Because Jamaica popped down.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe that your country
Is pop down.
popped down, are you going to invest in your country?
No, of course
you're
not.
looking for an exit plan. You're not going to invest in your country. Now, if you want to change your mindset and to surface new ideas, you have to make a deliberate effort to filter what enters your mind on a daily basis, right? Now, if you migrate, and I have nothing against migration,
Hear
right?
that, Sharon? Sharon said that's why
No,
she
she
left.
migrated.
So she right on cue.
You might want to move back.
So you see this cynicism that most people feel about Jamaica on a
Of
daily
course,
basis.
of
I don't
course.
feel it, by the way.
Really?
I don't.
Zero.
Really? Wow.
Zero.
Wow.
Doesn't happen. All I see is opportunity.
Exactly. That's why I started my company in
Absolutely.
Jamaica. I decided to start my company here.
No, the
Different
bar
mindset.
is so
The,
low.
the
Like,
bar is so low.
Jamaica compared to say a USA.
Yeah.
You migrate, you have a harder time of actually doing
Yes.
something that is breakthrough and that can give you serious returns in terms of money.
100%.
In Jamaica, the bar is so low. There are so many things, so many problems to solve. All I see is opportunity.
All opportunities.
All I see is opportunity. So because I see opportunity, what I'm going to be doing is investing in my country. That's just the bottom. It's not because of patriotism. I love my country.
Yeah.
But how can you, it's such an interesting phenomenon to me. Chinese, Indians love Jamaica. They want to come here.
Oh, dying.
Many come and do well. Many Jamaicans leave Jamaica, go to the USA, they do well. Many Americans live in America, they don't do well.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. The maths.
It is mindset. Whether you're a Jamaican in Jamaica, or Jamaican or an American in America, or an Indian in India, it is mindset. So we're expanding to Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm on Twitter every day. I see Nigerians are complaining about Nigeria. I hate Nigeria.
Yep.
Me, I see 300 million people. I say,
People.
yo,
There's
this
America.
is so much opportunity. So you have to, I cannot, this for me, I'd say this is the most important point today. I am not saying don't migrate or whatever, but you have to have a specific plan around why you're doing what you're doing.
100%.
So is Jamaica dangerous? 100% Jamaica is dangerous, right? But guess what I do know?
Yeah.
Research. Most of the crimes that are committed
Coming
in
to Jamaica is around a set
are
of people.
gang related,
Yes.
70 to 80%.
Most
The other
Yes.
10 or 15% out of that 100 is what they call domestic.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example of what domestic is. You have an insurance plan and you tell your cousin about it, and you tell your cousin, say your mother or whoever else family
Yes.
member are the beneficiary.
Yes.
That cousin go link with your thing and say, say if we kill him,
Yes.
you get the money.
Yeah.
And the person said, boy, kill
Yeah.
him.
Kill
Bam,
him.
you're dead.
Yeah.
So
And another war start kind of a fight feel land
yeah,
now
man,
our
of
house.
course, that's a separate thing, right?
That-
You can't
yes.
get- So, because I know that gang warfare accounts for the majority, I avoid places and spaces that can lead. No, I'm like saying I can't get killed, but I minimize the risk.
Yeah.
Because I know, say, Jamaica set up in a way where if me talk certain things and share certain things, me might end up dead.
Yes.
I keep my mouth
Yes.
shut. And then the final part of the percentage is random, right? You walk outside, you get killed.
Yeah.
But that is so,
Minimal.
it is
So,
chances are if you are killed, it is because of not necessarily because you did something wrong,
Yeah.
but it is
Something
connected
related
to
to-
somebody that
right.
knows you.
Right.
yep.
So because you know these things and you look at it, by the way, this data is publicly available on the
Yes,
JSF
yes.
website. You can
Just
go
so
on it
you
right
know.
now and look,
Yes.
right? So because you know, then you minimize your risk and you operate in a way that the likelihood of it happening is low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't mean I'm gonna run it from Jamaica.
No, my run come back.
Because it exists. So again, I could go on about this, but that is my final point. You have to curate your spaces. You know, if I say that I'm optimistic about Jamaica, I'm a labor right. But I've been on Twitter since I was 16. I've been on Twitter since I was 16 years old. I've never deleted any of these tweets.
Yeah.
You can go back and hear me saying from 2016, from 2007, from when I joined Twitter, I'm bullish on Jamaica. We said on the PNP. In fact, we started on the PNP.
Yeah.
Ronnie Twaits, all of these guys were at my launch. I've been saying I'm bullish on Jamaica since 2007. Facts.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm saying I'm bullish on Jamaica, you want to call me a labor right because of it, and I'm
fine.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
No problem.
Yeah, listen.
Good to go.
No matter where you are, they're going to find something.
They're going to find something to say. I believe in my country and I believe in the government.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know they're trying.
I've had pro-Jamaican
And I know they're trying.
Yeah. So up to you.
Telling you, I learning as well, and I facilitating, but I'm learning. And one of the things from Garden a while ago, I get that you must sift through to find what fits you. And I using sift, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, fits Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. We have to sift through all of that to find out what fits you and where your focus is. Final point from each of you, ladies and gentlemen. But before I ask you, I'm going to ask the chat for our next prize, right? Yes. What was when I asked each of our panelists for one word or one thing that is essential for yes, Garden Word, I go beat them. So some people have got Google now for being a successful entrepreneur. What did each of them say? So it's 3 things.
Yeah. Keisha got it right there. Stick-to-itiveness. What's the second?
No, you have to put them. Come, hold on, Keisha and Windell. Right, Jacqueline, right, Garden owner, right,
Yeah. Stick-to-itive dash.
Mine starts with a C, by
Yes.
No, you shouldn't tell them.
No,
That's telling them to beat them. No.
Here we are. Yes.
All right.
Yes, good job.
Nobody have the 3 yet. Nobody have the 3
But Cheryl, you don't spell out all of the others.
Come on.
No, I'm going to thief Cheryl idea.
And while you guys are in there battling for it, I'm going to ask each of you, you're going to leave us with 1 point. The most important thing, and I know you've said it. The thing is, you've said all of these important things. But
so I can steal their ideas.
This time I was going to say, ladies before gentlemen.
No, man, let the guys go first. They're,
So I'm going to allow you that privilege of calling it like that, Jackie.
Yes.
So one thing to two different sets of people now. So one to a budding entrepreneur and one to an established entrepreneur who believes they have it all figured out. Right? What is the one thing you'll say to 2 persons?
So it's one to a budding.
Right? And one to a seasoned, never say successful necessarily, a seasoned entrepreneur who believes that, hey, I'm rich. What can you give advice? So we still don't get somebody saying all 3. We still don't get somebody saying all 3.
Selfishness is who this.
So, you see now, Grace and you're close. You're close. We don't get Jackie one, Grace and. Hey, Grace and smart though. So Grace and give you the translation for God.
Yes, she did. Shameless audacity.
Are we gonna allow it? Garden? I know there's
Cheryl got it.
That
Cheryl
one.
got the word. Just copy Cheryl word and put it down with
Sanet, you're the closest.
people here. I know people profit. No.
All right. While I don't work it through, the team will tell me. We're wrapping up. So let's go with who you want to go first, Jackie.
Oh yes, I can pick. I'm the girl here. I get that advantage.
I will
the
say Garden
thorns.
because Garden.
Yes, let's start with Gordon. Yes,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go, Gordon.
Two
Teach
things.
us, please.
So, budding entrepreneur.
Yes. Which
Innovation.
should me?
No, you're not a budding entrepreneur. Innovation is overrated. People focus too much on looking good, sounding good, and doing something that's great, and I put great in quotes, instead of actually solving problems. Right? The best money to make is boring money. Right? So focus on solving real problems for people. And I find that a lot of people try to start their SpaceX before they start their Zip2. So for the seasoned entrepreneur, I would say that if it's not working out, it's okay to try something else.
Wow. Okay to try something else.
Profound.
Very
Good points, Garden.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to 2 things, and I'm going to start at purpose for the budding entrepreneur. Purpose, understanding your why. Really finding something that's deeper than the financial gains. That's important, but understand as God, connecting it to what Garden said, ensuring that you're making a solid impact. Something that will really get you up in the days when the business and the finances don't seem so healthy. right? Purpose, what's that larger than life, deep reason for you to start this enterprise? What is the value that you're really bringing to the table? So that's purpose. And for the person who is already doing business, I'm going to go to people, because in my experience, once you find that you start to grow, if it is a business that's growing, you will realize that if you don't figure out the people side of your business, then scaling and getting to that next level will be impossible, because you cannot do it alone. You really have to find others that you can get to buy into your vision, who are really interested in collaborating and joining you to get to that next level, right? So understand people, get the right people get people in the right seats, doing the right thing. That's going to be critical as you look to scale your enterprise, your business, your idea to the next level.
Wow. Big ups to Samantha. She says, shameless audacity, which is, say it, Gardens. Stick-to-itiveness, which was from Jackie, and Kier, which was from Randy. So Samantha, congratulations. You should have read Uspa though. Yeah. Jackie.
So the two things I have to go on if you're just starting, right? One, you want to go with ideation. I think it's important. Yes, my company is Ideate that, but I'm big on ideation. I want you to, it's based on research, looking at the market, right? Looking at where the profit margins will be. You have to compare what, and by the way, as Gordon said, and I have to go back to Gordon sometimes when he said, I love, he dropped some really beautiful gem, but he said, right? But he says that it doesn't have to be, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Right.
You don't have, borrowing money is money, right? So it's like, so the ideation, like how can I carve and create a space for myself? That's one. Yes, and that of course is going to be dependent on your passion and purpose and if this is something that you want to do. And I have to go over to Brescia to say, important, it's your why. So your ideation, that's the foundation, and on top of that, you're building the model that has to do with the research and your passion, the purpose, your why, right? And then you have to go to just discipline. Discipline. So you're now a budding business woman, businessman on the days where Gordon and Brescia, okay, Gordon and Randy, or right, when EduFocal and Brescia and they're struggling and the kids them a ball, the discipline have to take over.
Yeah.
It has to. That is why I'm get up this morning, say my work from 7 this morning and it past 7. That is past motivation. That is discipline.
Wow.
So that's what I would leave you with. Ideation and discipline.
Wow. I don't think we need to say anything else. We don't, somebody was saying, some of the team members were saying next week we have extra lessons.
No, clearly.
We don't need anything else. You're ready to pass your exam in business based on everything you heard today. We started out with a Thriveometer. We're going to do another one to see how you're doing now. You know, we remember persons were okay, persons were wanting to learn. So we want to launch our poll to see how much you've grown since we began. And let's see if the panel have done a good job. Yeah, I believe they have. So
well,
let's
it's
see
a zero
what you
across the board.
say. Somebody was asking for all of you, how can they get involved in your business, so to speak? If it's a partner or if somebody's seeking a service. Randy, somebody was asking about the price for the bags. I know persons may want to know more about EduFocal, and I know Jackie for Ideate and the book and the TV show.
Sure,
So
I keep plugging
quickly,
so.
how can they find you and how can they get more information?
Quite easy. Roastbybrescia.com. That's roast, ROAST. BY Brescia is BRESHEH.com. Roastbybrescia.com gives you everything you want to find out about Brescia. We're on Instagram, Roast by Brescia, 890-5910. You can call, you can WhatsApp, you can email us, sales@brescia.com as well. So we are across all platforms. The products start from $10,000 up. The backpacks are $25,000 up. It's inclusive of personalization with your names or your initials. Companies can also add their logos to the product to make it their own. So reach out to us. It's easy to find us, roastbybrescia.com. dreammaker.com. Oh, one more thing. We are looking for people to join our team of dream makers.
saw that,
Ooh, yes.
That's what we call
beautiful.
them. We don't call them machine operators. So if you can sew or know somebody who loves to sew and can operate in industrial sewing machines, we're always looking for people. We need at least 12 people right
Wow.
now, and we'll need another 30 to 36 pretty soon.
Work ton up.
I love
so
it.
Yeah.
we need people to join the team. We're in expansion mode. You'll see pretty soon, we're building out a new facility in Kingston, so as we're growing. So we need people with good vibes and energy, the talent and the skill to join the team. So reach out to us.
Imagine dropping that on your resume, dream maker.
Dream.
Yeah, love that. Right.
So
Major scale up.
EduFocal closed today at $1.80 per share. I cannot encourage you to buy shares. You have to speak to your licensed financial advisor. I cannot
That is
survive.
it.
I cannot survive prison.
Yeah.
But you can buy if you're so interested and you speak to a licensed professional and they make that recommendation.
For you.
You can, start with Jane. Jane has there's Jane. What's there? Jane Fund Managers, a brokerage firm. You can speak to your licensed advisor at Jane, and they will advise you accordingly. But I'd encourage you all to take a look at the numbers, take a look at the prospects, what it is that we're working on. You've heard from me today. $1.80 may be cheap, maybe expensive, it may be cheap, right? I personally think it's cheap. So I will continue to buy EduFocal shares. But outside of that, for businesses, we create customized learning management systems. We create e-courses for those learning management systems. We recently partnered with Design Privacy to create a data protection introductory course. We will work with medium, large organizations to implement that, so you can increase productivity and build out the knowledge base within your organization.
Nice.
We've worked with JCF, Transport Authority, BCIC, Heart Trust NT, and many others. On the other side, if you have a child preparing for their PEP exams, visit edufocal.com and sign up. It's currently free. 100% free, paid for by third parties. I'd encourage you to check that out.
Give me 6 years.
Love that.
Give me a lot of years.
Everything else that we're offering is actually not. Actually, yes, but there's Clever School Teacher, which is a part of the EduFocal group. We target Americans, we target K1, K2 teachers in the States. So that's not necessarily targeted at Jamaicans. We have VHSI. It's a nursing program in EduFocal. You can check it out, vhsiacademy.com. So if you're a nursing student preparing for your exams, that is bar none the best option for you. I can say that with my chest.
Shameless.
Right?
Audacity.
Check
Shameless
out,
audacity.
Shameless
Yeah,
audacity.
man, shameless audacity. Check out edufocalgroup.com to see a full list of our services, or if you're interested specifically in our PEP product, edufocal.com.
And don't think cheap or expensive when you think about any other products or services here. Think about what they are worth and the value that you are getting.
And the leadership.
Yeah, and listen, when you hear these people, you want to be in their business, you want to support their business, or you want to partner with them. All right, lady amongst the gents.
Yes. So my company, Ideate That Limited, www.ideatethat.com. And Ideate That is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all on the social spaces. And of course, for our TV show, Psychology Off, it is listed on our YouTube channel. So that's Psychology Off. We have season 1 and we have season 2, and season 3 is about to be in the making. And then of course, my Jamaican adult coloring book, which is called I Am That I Am, and it is on Amazon for $24.99, Ricky, yes. And then it is in Fontana's island-wide for $4.05, I believe. I think so, yes, $4.05. And then it is also in Sky Gallery for $4,000. And if you're buying it through Ideate That, of course, when you contact us, it would be for $4,000. So 359-5929.
And if you go in Fontana, you don't see it, you understand why. Right? So message them and tell them to restock. Yes,
Robert
go ahead.
Paulo said they didn't get the website right, so it's vhsiacademy.com.
Right.
Yeah.
So add academy before
Add
.com,
academy.
Robert.
Yeah.
All right, so here is how everybody's doing now. 87% of the person say their mood has improved.
Oh, wow.
Overwhelming majority,
Ooh.
right there. Most valuable tip or strategy that they have gotten. Everybody gets something which is most important for me, but strategies for adapting to a changing business landscape leads the pack.
Ooh.
Which testimony from successful entrepreneurs resonated with you the most? And I think I'm seeing that perseverance and resilience in entrepreneurship is leading the pack. So you can't give up. You have to persevere.
Yeah.
And you have to be resilient. Enjoy the session. I think that one win. Nobody did not enjoy. So everybody enjoyed.
100. That's,
yes,
100.
That's an
Yeah, I
A
love
plus
it.
right there. And finally, everybody has received what they expected from the class, whether totally or mostly. And again, I say this every week. If you
57,
stayed
43.
for 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes or whatever, you would have gotten it. And if you missed that part of it, just go back and watch it again and you would have realized that you would have gotten everything you needed and more.
Ignore the noise, focus and execute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We've come to the end of the road. A good thing garden stopped becoming the almost start sing and then everybody will just leave the room. So we've come to the end of the road for this season. Jane Circle Life class. It's always amazing. I tell people when I started out in the chat. I heard about it. I joined the chat and I realized the value. And I came on like these lovely persons as a part of different panels. And then I am now here full circle because of the value that it gives. So big ups to Jane and the team, Pilar, DeAndre, and all of you amazing persons behind the camera.
Really, really wonderful.
Thank you very much for what you continue to bring to the nation, just like these young people, bringing value to the nation to help them change. It has been my pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you guys again next season. Don't know when yet. It may be this year. It may be early next year. Maybe the middle of next year. Just keep following Jane on all your platforms and you will see. Thank you very much for your time. Lovely panel. Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much for having me.
You need to go
so
and yeah, because their clock never stops. So we're gonna go. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
How you mean? Brothers and sisters, good day now. How you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Brand new middle this mix up and blend for the man like that and shine as I will say. Yeah. Real keen from a record machine to the spot when all I see big rock and come in as I will tell you. Brand new middle this make you jump on twist, speaking of this. Tell you about it. Sometimes it's hard, but try and you'll make it. Believe you me. In order to achieve, go forth and take it. Set yourself free. With obstacles in your way, you may fall before you rise. But if you really want good, you know off a run. So get up and keep your eyes on the prize. So as part of your plan, you feel your ambition, and the Almighty One as your foundation. Hey, nobody get rich and switch because that's definitely wrong. Me begging you, don't forget your friends and where you come from. If you are thief, remember God now sleep. And although you're a